This is Tom Homes for Sale bringing you a special real estate report. 2023 has introduced many changes in the real estate market. Here to give us a better understanding is our resident real estate expert, Vishal of Vidona Residential. Vishal, great to see you. What can our viewers expect to see this year in the real estate market?
Hi Tom, thanks for having me. 2023 is starting off in a very different place than 22 did. We are seeing a drop in new contracts by about 1/3. Normally, this would be a bad indicator for the real estate market and would mean inventory is going up, which would eventually cause prices to go down. But when we look at the inventory levels, we are still firmly in seller's market territory, and the inventory levels have actually plateaued and come down a bit. This is because the number of new listings have also gone down, although not as much as the number of new contracts, which is why we see the muted rise in inventory. In most real estate market contractions, when you see a drop in demand like we have seen recently, you would usually see a rise in inventory levels. That hasn't happened though because of two reasons. The first is that supply is historically low. The last decade produced 5 million less housing units than the previous 40-year decade average. It's going to take about 18 years to make up that missing supply at today's current construction pace, possibly longer if builders have a lowered outlook on the real estate market. The second reason is many would-be sellers have a good amount of equity in the property, but also likely very low interest rates that we'll be hard-pressed to ever see again. On top of that, if they were to sell, they're going to have to buy in today's market with much less affordability, so they're continuing to stay out of the market. For perspective, the Great Recession had a huge amount of oversupply due to developers overbuilding, and sellers eventually flooding the market because their mortgages or circumstances changed and they couldn't afford to keep the property any longer. At the same time, easy to get loans dried up, causing demand to disappear. High supply, low demand means prices will go down. This market, however, is a low supply, low demand, which is causing price appreciation to slow down or flatten. But we shouldn't expect any significant price declines because of an underlying natural growth in the demand. The millennials have come of home buying age, and unless we have a time machine, nothing will change that.
That's really interesting. What would you say to prospective sellers?
I would tell them to not cut corners with making your house stand out against competition. That means maximizing your showing condition and working with a professional that knows how to draw in the buyers. Buyers are willing to pay for a good home, and it's still possible to generate multiple offers while selling quickly if you're working with the right professional who also knows how to negotiate them.
That's some sage advice. What's been happening in the overall economy?
Well, Tom, it's no secret that rates have been going up. The Feds have been increasing rates to cool down the economy, and they're almost double what they were a year ago. I always talk about how just a 1% increase in rate means a 12% decrease in borrowing power. But if you look at the past trends for rates, we're still below the historical average.
So what advice would you be giving to prospective buyers?
For buyers, I would tell them to buy a good home that meets your needs, pay a fair price for it, and make sure that you have a payment you can carry until rates improve and you can refinance.
And what about the thought that buyers should wait for interest rates to drop before buying?
That's a great question, Tom. And I would ask, what do you think is going to happen to the market when the rates drop again?
It will become very competitive for buyers. It will turn more into a seller's market, and prices will go up?
Exactly. That being said, many borrowers are feeling like they missed the boat. And to them I say, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is today. At some point, the economy will hit a recessionary period, but now the Feds have a tool of reducing rates so that they can stimulate the economy again. That would then be your sign to refinance when the mortgage rates eventually drop. That means that by buying today, you will be able to avoid all the competition in the marketplace of the future since you only have to refinance to take advantage of the lower rates.
You always do a great job of giving us needed perspective and information so that we know what's happening in the market. Any parting words for our viewers?
It's my pleasure, Tom. My advice to the viewers is to make sure that you have a true real estate professional in your corner that knows their stuff, is trustworthy, and responsive. Especially with the market that we're in today, We are counting on you and your introductions to anyone else that could benefit from our level of expertise. So be sure to refer everyone and anyone that you know that is looking to do anything real estate related to your favorite real estate professional.
This has been our special 2023 real estate market forecast. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.